Greetings, 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 royal family. Welcome back to another episode of the Morning Boogie with me, Royal B. Today is Thursday, February 27th, 2020. And I'm happy to be here. Happy Friday Eve, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everybody's having a glorious morning. I know I am. Got some things to get into today. As you are rolling in, be sure to hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Drop a comment. Let me know that you're in here alive and well. So as usual, I normally wait until some of you start rolling in. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate your patience. As always, these YouTube notifications are a little janky. I'll probably get into that too. So got a couple of things to talk about. Nicki Minaj went to Trinidad with her husband, and there was a little bit of controversy there. Oprah Winfrey, the Oprah Winfrey Show is coming back. Usher's got a new project out. And what is he confessing to? Octavia Spencer, she's going to be playing Madam C.J. Walker. So I'll get into that as well. So we're about 2 minutes in. So like I said, as you're rolling in, just drop a comment. Let me know that you're in here if you're not too shy. Let me see if I can comment. Sometimes my chat doesn't work. Hey, don't try me. Okay, I see the chat now, and I see my comment. Greetings, everybody. Don't try me. Thanks for joining. Make sure you hold it down in the chat. Good morning, Miss Lashia. Greetings. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. All right. So let me see how many minutes we are in. I like to wait to be courteous. All right, we're approaching 4 minutes. I see some of you are rolling in. Your entry fee is hitting the like button. So as you're coming in, don't forget. Thanks. It helps out the channel. Believe it or not, it helps out the channel. All right, so we're approaching 4 minutes. So let's get this thing started. So Usher. It seems like Usher has new music coming out. He performed at some little club, it looks like. I did see the video. And he has Confessions Part 3. I guess that's the name of the song, maybe the name of the project. I am not sure. So I don't know exactly. At first, I didn't know exactly what he was confessing to. And I thought, okay, maybe he is addressing the rumors about his health. I don't know if he's obligated to. I mean, the rumors were swirling around and people were in and out of court, lawsuits left and right. I mean, it would be it's not necessarily a bad thing if if he wants to continue his music career just to kind of get it out of the way. That's what I thought. But then I said, didn't quite seem like he was talking about his health. Well, Jermaine Dupri says it's not about what we may think it's about. Because he is going to be working with Usher. It's actually about abortion. Okay, hopefully you guys heard that. Terminating a pregnancy. Another word for terminating a pregnancy. Begins with an A. Don't put it in the chat. Like I said, I got to watch what I say on here. So he's telling everybody to relax. Like Jermaine Dupri is giving a statement. And again, I was one of the people who thought that his new Confessions song was him talking about his Usher's health. You know what I mean? Right? So Jermaine Dupri says that, we all need to listen closely because some people got it wrong. He cleared the air Wednesday about the speculation surrounding the Confessions Part 3, which Usher, he teased again during a live gig. He did like a live performance in a small venue. And one particular line in the song I thought was him talking about his health condition. So he says on the new track, right, on the song, you hear Usher saying, "You said, babe," well, he sang this, but I'm going to read it. "You said, babe, let me take you to the ER. I said, nah, I'm going to be all right. Well, the next day I found out from blanking around that the sickness I had was life." This is what he's saying. Like I said, I'm reading it. I'll spare you guys. I won't be singing on this beautiful Thursday morning. So I guess according to, well, not I guess, but according to Jermaine Dupri, he's actually teaming up with Usher to produce this new album. Confessions Part 2 came out in 2004, I think it was. So I guess this is the sequel to Confessions Part 2. Jermaine Dupri says, "I see y'all tripping." He posted this on Twitter. He said, "I see y'all tripping. Confessions Part 3 is from a female's perspective." Oh. I said, okay, that makes sense. He then went on to say that the song is about a girl cheating on him, Usher, I guess, and getting pregnant by another man. She is then being stuck, his words, not mine, with the decision to keep or not keep the baby. Now that he knows, I guess Usher, should he stay or leave? This is what the song is about. Then he says, "Get it?" He said, "The sickness I had was life," refers to a baby. Now that's sad. A sickness for life? Not being sick for life. This is how Jermaine Dupri broke it down. So the good thing out of all of this is Usher's coming out with new music. Are you guys excited? Confessions album was pretty dope. So him coming out with Confessions Part 3, working with Jermaine Dupri is a good look. So I'm here for it. I was just talking yesterday. We were talking about who do we want to see come out with new music. Yesterday on the morning show, and we named a couple of people, and I guess the universe heard us because Usher's coming out with new music. I don't think anybody mentioned Usher. I didn't, but anyway, so that's good to see. But Confessions, yeah, it was a huge hit. I think that is certified diamond, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that album was certified diamond a few years ago. So it's one of his most successful albums, one of the most successful albums of the 2000s. So him and Jermaine Dupri getting back together and working makes total sense. But it wouldn't be a bad idea for Usher to touch on his health condition if he chooses to. He doesn't have to. I mean, that's personal, even though it was all over the blogs and people were talking and stuff like that. So let me take a look at the cheese at. Greetings. Yeah, so that's good to know that Usher's back in the studio. I know it had to be hard for him. I'm sure it had to be real hard for him to like go through what he went through publicly and then kind of like shying away, tucking away in a shell and just being made fun of and talked about and stuff, scrutinized, and then having to deal with his health condition. But it's good to see that he is back out and in the studio with JD. They make hits. They definitely make hits. So I'm looking forward to his new album. Well, moving along. We wish you the best, Usher. Moving along. So, Madam C.J. Walker, who was the first black millionaire, we have her to thank for all things hair care products, the hair care business. Octavia Spencer is going to be playing Madam C.J. Walker. And this little mini series is going to be coming to Netflix. Netflix is having a good 2020, right? They got all the hits, all the actors and actresses. I'm here for it. So Octavia Spencer is going to be playing Madam C.J. Walker. Blair Underwood is going to be playing her husband. And Tiffany Haddish. Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. She is always working, and I'm here for it. Tiffany Haddish, she is going to be playing the daughter of Madam C.J. Walker. Again, this is going to be coming to Netflix. Netflix is out here doing the darn thing. Bill Bellamy is also going to be in this movie. So they released their trailer. It's called Self-Made. It's inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. It's executive produced by Octavia Spencer, and she's also the star. It's a 4-part limited series, and it details the life of America's first self-made millionaire, how she fought for social change and simultaneously overcame post-slavery racial and gender biases, personal betrayals, and business rivalries to build a groundbreaking brand that revolutionized black hair care. This is a good look. LeBron James is a part of this project as well. Jamal Henderson. So this series is scheduled to launch March 20th on Netflix. So I definitely will be tuning in. I think that this is great. What is going on? What is over there? And Netflix is writing out good checks. Everybody is jumping over to Netflix. Everybody's on Netflix. And I have to say, they are producing some worthy content, in my opinion. The Malcolm X documentary I enjoyed. And now this, among other things. Kevin Hart had his little docu-series on there. Don't F This Up, I think that was the name of it. I did catch that. That was pretty good, well produced. So I'm here for it. I'm here to see Bill Bellamy back on stage, or back on the big screen. Tiffany Haddish. This seems like hopefully she'll be playing a more serious role. I'm pretty sure she's going to be herself. She's going to sprinkle her personality on this character. But it's good to see her in such an important film. Because I think a lot of people know about Madam C.J. Walker, yes, but to see this on film, I'm here for it. Octavia Spencer, she's a phenomenal actress. We've seen her in the Help, among other things. So she's a phenomenal actress. So I'm looking forward to this. So March 20th, this will be on Netflix. And it is a 4-part episode or 4-part limited series. So this should be good. Hopefully this will be well produced. I'm pretty sure it's well written if you got Blair Underwood, Octavia Spencer, and Tiffany Haddish all on, and LeBron James is joining this too. Mark Holder. This is going to be good. So I'm interested in seeing this. Yeah, tell me what you think. You guys going to be checking this out? March 20th. This should be good. I'm pretty sure I'll do a review on this. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hold on. My chat is frozen. I can't see your comments, y'all. I'm going to have to go on my phone. Great. All right. Listen. Up next, Sissy Houston. Now, everybody is talking about this Whitney Houston hologram. Some of you actually went back into the archives and watched my video that I did back in May of 2019 when I first heard about this foolishness, about this Whitney hologram. So everybody's like catching on, and I see a lot of other content creators making videos, which I appreciate. They're going hard for Whitney. I was supposed to post that video in my community tab. I'll probably do it after this video. But I said in that video, where is Sissy Houston? She's probably sitting somewhere not having any idea what's going on. Not even knowing that Sissy Houston had dementia. She was diagnosed with early stages of dementia back in 2018. I told y'all something wasn't right. Well, if you didn't see the video, then I didn't tell you. But I said it in the video. Allegedly, Dionne Warwick is not happy about this Whitney hologram. Like I said before, I hoped and prayed that this would not come to pass. It has, and everyone is in an uproar. even more than when they first heard about Whitney's hologram. It's ugly, it's creepy. I did see it. I didn't watch too long, but I knew it would be creepy and weird. I saw pictures of it, of the hologram. So a lot of people were giving their feedback and they were not happy about it. And they shouldn't be. But Sissy Houston, she's been diagnosed with dementia. And again, this was back in 2018. So so it's probably progressed on to Alzheimer's at this point. It's possible because the early stages of Alzheimer's is dementia, and then it progresses on. It is a disorder that pretty much eats away at your brain. That's why people who have Alzheimer's, they can't remember, they can't recollect. They either their short-term or their long-term memories affected. They can't recollect certain things, dates. They get confused easily. They don't even know their own name. Sometimes they wander off. This is sad because not knowing, like I said, when I did this video back in May of 2019, I didn't even know that Sissy Houston had had dementia. And now hearing this now, it just makes sense. It's just like she's probably being taken advantage of in the worst way, man. In the worst way. And it's sad. It's definitely sad. Mm-mm-mm. There is more than one type of dementia, so I'm not sure um, what type Sissy has. But again, as dementia progresses, it just has a huge impact on your ability just to do simple functions like put on your socks, because this is something that eats away at your brain. Mm-mm-mm. And who's caring for her? I wonder if they're going to put her in a nursing home. Pat is probably her caregiver. Pat Garland. We don't acknowledge her as a Houston. I'm waiting for Dionne Warwick to speak up. I'm waiting for her to speak up and speak out because I know she has something to say about this. I'm pretty sure she has something to say about this. This is just sad. It's really, really sad. And I just hate to see anyone get taken advantage of, especially the elderly. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, I reported before, this hologram is on tour over there in England. Hopefully it'll stay over there. It won't make its way to the US. But I just want everybody to band together and boycott this thing, man. I'm pretty sure there's some people who like it, but I hate it. I hate the thought of it, especially because Whitney Houston's passing was so tragic. It was extremely tragic. This whole thing was just a tragedy. So I am moving on from that. So we're going to keep Sissy Houston definitely in prayer. And for that other woman, good luck. That's all I have to say. Moving along. Oprah Winfrey. The Oprah Winfrey Show is returning, y'all, in podcast form. Now, I think that this is a smart idea. And Oprah is capitalizing off of what's in right now. So, classic Oprah Winfrey Show episodes are going to be returning in podcast form. So 10 of its most watched episodes will roll out on March 3rd. So that's going to be the first phase. She's probably going to take it back, like way back to like the late 80s, early 90s. And we all know podcasts, they're huge now. Everybody has a podcast. I have somewhat of a podcast. Every Wednesday, the Royal Culture Podcast, I upload a video. And if you didn't get the opportunity to check out yesterday's podcast episode, I did a recap and review on Snoop Dogg sitting down with Jada and them at the red table. So make sure you check that out if you haven't done so already. So Oprah Winfrey Network President Tina Perry, she gave a statement, and she says, as we head into a new decade, it's a great time for fans of the Oprah Winfrey Show to revisit the joy, laughter, and inspiration that kept us all tuning in daily for 25 years. The Oprah Winfrey Show, the podcast, is the perfect opportunity to look back and reflect, take stock of how we've grown, and to be reminded that we're all in this together. So on the Oprah Winfrey Network, they will be releasing 10 again of the show's most watched episodes on March 3rd. They didn't say which specific episodes, but it's just the first episodes are basically going to tackle race relations, drug addictions, divorce, and weight loss. Pretty much the early episodes of Oprah. And they also feature Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and Susie Orman as guests. After the initial rollout, one new episode will be released per week, so it will take a while before you can pretty much binge watch Oprah's shows. And it's going to be on Apple Podcasts on March 3rd when those first 10 episodes roll out. But apparently it's going to be available on all other platforms as well. Of course, Oprah's not going to miss out on a dime. I think that this is smart. This is genius. And I remember having a conversation with my good Judy about a year ago, like when Wendy Williams was going through her divorce. I know you're like, what does Wendy Williams have to do with this? But I said that Wendy Williams should get off of television and do a podcast. I wish my good Judy was in here because they could confirm. But yeah, I think that Wendy should have jumped on this because Wendy came from radio. So that's her element. And because podcasts are so popular, people are always on the go, always in motion. They may not have time to sit down and watch a video, but they will listen to a podcast. You know what I mean? And it just, I hope Wendy definitely thinks about this because I think it's time for her to get off TV. But I think that this is a smart idea for Oprah. And then I thought about it. I'm like, why is she redistributing her old episodes in podcast form? I mean, it's a good thing to keep up with the times. But what's going on, Oprah? Are you losing your footing? I know she owns the rights to those episodes. So it's a win-win for her financially. But what's going on? Interesting. I'll be listening because I liked old Oprah. I enjoyed her shows every day at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Oprah used to come on. And I used to watch some episodes, depending on the content. My mother and the rest of them would be like, nope, you can't watch this. So yeah, I enjoyed her older shows. So this will be good. And listen, say what you will about Oprah. I have my opinions about her, but I learned a lot from her shows. When she does those like kind of super soul-esque type shows. And when she had Iyanla, I always watch when she had Iyanla. Because me and Iyanla go way, 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 way back. Okay. So I always watch when she had Iyanla on there. I like Dr. Phil. Dr. Oz, he was interesting. I caught a couple of those episodes. But she introduced us to some pretty decent people. So I'll be looking forward to some of those throwback episodes of Oprah. And I think, like I said, it's a genius idea to put it in podcast form. Let me see what you're saying. I don't want to hear Oprah Winfrey's show, let alone see her show. You don't? Did you ever watch her show when back in the day? Like her old episodes? They were good. Like she was kind of like a Donahue. Oof. I don't know if y'all remember Donahue. She was kind of like a Donahue. They would have like, racists on there and they would hash it out, and I don't know. I liked when she had Maya Angelou on the show. I enjoyed that when she would have Tina Turner on the show. So some of her throwback shows I did enjoy. I just think it's a good idea to re-release these episodes in podcast form. Trust me, people are going to be tuning in. Ratings is not going to be an issue for Oprah. She has the money for marketing, so it's a win-win situation for her. Even though we ain't feeling Oprah right now, can't take away she did the work, and she introduced a lot of people to Iyanla. I'm just saying. All right, up next. Oh God, I was hesitant to talk about this. So Nicki Minaj, right? She went to Carnival in Trinidad, her homeland. And for some reason, somehow, it ended up being controversial. Somehow, you go to Trinidad for carnival. If you're from the islands or you are educated in island culture, all of us from the islands, we have carnival. It celebrates independence. You know, you have the costumes. Real Housewives of Atlanta, they went to Canada. Canada's not an island, but I'm just saying they went to Canada and they celebrated carnival. You know, I had on my little headdress for my aunt. It was my aunt's. She participated in carnival. Carnival is just a celebration where everybody gets together. They dress up in these very expensive costumes. They all have themes. It's music, it's fun, it's dance, it's high energy, it's alcohol, good food, just good vibes. So I said to myself, how is it that you go to carnival and it ends up being controversial? What the heck happened? Well, she took her husband, Mr. Petty, and they were on a truck. It was like a float. You could consider it a float, but it's not as big and grandiose as a float. So it was like a little truck, and there was an artist on there from Trinidad, and he looked like he was reaching over to Nikki. It seems to kind of get Nikki's attention, and her husband's back was turned to this guy. So all her husband sees is like an arm coming over his shoulder. So he used his arm to push the singer's arm away, and people were in uproar because they felt that Mr. Petty was being disrespectful. That is my summary of it, but I will read the article for you, an updated article. So he's getting some heat from Trinidadian fans. Okay, a lot of people, some people weren't feeling him. They were saying on social media, "Don't bring him back here," yada yada. So they recently touched down in Trinidad and Tobago for carnival. The locals are now furious with Nikki, saying that she should have never brought Kenneth Petty to her homeland. I just don't understand how this becomes controversial. Carnival is a good time. Anyway. Now, it was a good idea for her to spend some time, with her husband in Trinidad, because I don't remember the last time Nikki touched down in Trinidad, TNT, excuse me, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't recall. I know she reps, that she's a Trini. She's an island girl. But I don't recall the last time she actually went back home. So, whatever. So, this time she went home with her husband. And things had been going awesome for the couple as they partied in the streets of Trinidad. However, they took a drastic turn when Ken seemingly, let me call him Kenneth because I don't know him. He's not my friend. Kenneth seemingly pushed one of the soca artists, big artists. Ira George is his name. So there's video footage of the incident, and it shows the new reigning international soca monarch, Ira George, performing his winning track, Stage Gone Bad. And he was on Michael Montano, who's my favorite soca artist. They were on his truck. Like I said, it's not really you can call it a float, but it's not as big as a float. It was like a truck. And it basically rides through the streets. The fans are in the streets and participants are in the streets dancing, and Nikki's like paying attention to the crowd, yada yada. So during his performance, Ira, the soca superstar, he took 2 steps back and approached Nikki to hold a little break conversation while holding up a Trinidad and Tobago flag. So Ira then went back to the original spot where he was, because he was performing to the crowd, and he kept on, he continued to perform, engaging with the crowd. So not long after, Ira, he seemingly tried to reach for Nikki while being behind Kenneth. Again, Kenneth's back was turned to him. So sadly, he was quickly blocked and his hand slightly shoved by Mr. Petty. Now, I seen the video, and Mr. Petty's face looked like he was hot, hungry, and irritated. I'm just saying. And for most of the carnival, he looked like he was over it. He looked like he was over all of these because it's very crowded, especially in Trinidad. Any carnival setting, anywhere, Brazil, Canada, Jamaica, Miami, it's crowded, like very, very crowded. So he looked like he was just uncomfortable. He looked like he was trying to protect his wife, yes, but He was tired. He probably was hungry. I know I get grumpy when I'm hungry. So it was just a millisecond. Like, he just pushed his hand back, you know what I mean, with his elbow. Because again, he sees a hand reaching over his shoulder. He's like, what the heck, you know? Well, the locals saw it as disrespect, and social media was on fire. They said that Ken needs to be sent back to New York. One fan said, first of all, she should have left him home. Just somebody wrote on Instagram. Another commented on how lucky the pair was. Kenny and Nikki, lucky the crowd didn't see it, or else that float would have got a bottle and stone upside their heads. So the locals were threatening to stone the truck because they were so ticked off. Now, Nikki quickly caught wind of what was happening and took the microphone to apologize to the mass on behalf of her husband. She begged, "Can you guys get me out of jail?" Before continuing, "I just want to say I love you guys and I'm so happy to be here. This is my first..." Oh, so see, it is her first carnival ever. Because I don't remember her ever going to Trinidad for carnival. Anyway, she said, "This is my first carnival ever." She previously touched down in Trinidad in 2012 for that year's carnival fete and to shoot for her music video for Pound the Alarm, which was done in Port of Spain. She also took to Instagram to defend her husband. She said that he doesn't understand anything about our culture. She says she apologizes on behalf of him. He's always in security mode. She said it's all love. She said, "I love my country to death, period." Now, I know Iwer did give a statement. That's the soca artist whose arm was pushed. And he said it was all good. He said it wasn't, he didn't take it as a sign of disrespect. He understand, you know what I mean? He don't know him. His back was turned. He didn't realize that it was him reaching his arm over. But some people, they were going in because a lot of people just don't like Nicki Minaj's husband. That's fine. They don't have to sleep with him, but okay, they can have their opinion. But I just think that this thing was kind of blown out of proportion. But I can understand for the people who love Nicki down. They want to see the best for her, and they're just not feeling, Mr. Petty. He comes across as very serious all the time. He doesn't seem approachable. And then, of course, that recent incident with Meat Mill in the department store or wherever they were. It's just a bit much. But she did apologize on behalf of her husband. Again, maybe he does not understand the culture. It's a high time. It's all love. Listen, you're gonna get stepped on. Liquor's gonna be spilling all over you. Nobody is in a defense mode, but he is. He's trying to protect her. So, my question is, why doesn't Nicki have security? I don't understand why Nicki doesn't have like security. Like, it seems like her husband is her security. I don't know. She said he was in security mode, so I don't know. Did you guys see the video? Did anybody see the video? Greetings, and Jeanette, welcome. Good morning. I don't know. I just think that sometimes things can be blown out of proportion, but then again, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I don't know. Some of the barbs are not feeling this Mr. Petty. They are not feeling this guy. And it's like everything that he does is going to be scrutinized. They complain that he's all up under her. He needs to give her space. Like, everywhere she goes, he goes. Remember, is she still considered a newlywed? She's newly married. So, of course they're going to be all up under each other. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. If Nicki likes it, then I don't see the problem. There were speculations of abuse. I'm like, oh my God, you don't know what goes on behind someone's private time in their home. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this. I think that Kenneth, like I said, his back was turned, so all he sees is an arm reaching over him, and he moved the arm. And the soca artist Iwer George, he said that it was all love. I'm pretty sure they probably pieced it up and came to an understanding. They're both men, so I don't know. I get how it can look disrespectful because this is a huge artist. This is a huge artist in Trinidad. The Trinidadians, the locals are there, and they see this. All they see is like him, this Yankee, pushing this guy, this guy's arm. And of course, I see why they're filming. I don't think he meant any harm. I don't know. But they said that he needs to go back to New York, and Nicki should have never brought him to her country. You saw the video. You were laughing at his face while he was making Kenneth's face. He looked like he was hungry. He looked like he was hot. He looked like he was tired. His feet hurt. He looked like all he wanted to do is get away from these large crowds. Listen, let me say this, and this is not to be shady at all. I am not Wendy Williams at all. Think about it. This man was incarcerated for a very long time. I'm not making excuses, but just let's use logic here. He's institutionalized to some degree. Everyone who's incarcerated is institutionalized. Heck, those of us who go to school in this country are institutionalized to some degree. And then, he comes home and he's just like catapulted into this life where there's all this attention. He is married to Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? Huge star. Maybe that makes him uncomfortable still. No? I'm just saying. What do you guys think? I don't know. You have to take that into consideration. Well, you don't have to do anything, but that's something that should be taken into consideration. And it's like, he's trying to protect his woman. I don't think he intentionally meant to disrespect that the soca artist. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Maybe he could have, but I don't know. But Nicki did apologize on behalf of her husband. Like she said, he's not used to the culture. I don't know if that incident has anything to do with the culture per se. I think his back was turned. He's probably looking around. It's a huge crowd. His wife is there. His wife doesn't have any added security, so he feels he has to secure and protect his wife. He sees an arm reach over his shoulder, and his first instinct was to move the arm. That's what I got from it. So that's what it looked like to me. But he looked like he was hungry, poor thing, and hot. Poor thing. And of course, everybody from every angle is trying to get Nicki's attention on this little float-esque type truck. So he has to have eyes and ears. You know what I mean? Again, if Nicki's going to be traveling, I think it's best for her to have at least maybe 1-2 security guards. That way, Kenneth is not on go. He can kind of relax and enjoy the festivities. But it seemed like he was in work mode and protect mode and security mode. Like she said, he was in security mode. So I don't know. Oh, Nicki. People are never going to be satisfied. It is what it is. But I do think that her going out of the country or going anywhere, it would be a good idea for her to have 1 or 2 strong arms, so that at least her husband can kind of relax. I mean, he won't 100% relax because of course he wants to protect his wife, but maybe he can kind of relax in a place like that, a carnival. Yeah, there should have been more security. There definitely should have been more security for her. She should have had hired security. I don't see why not. Maybe she didn't want to come across as hoity-toity and bougie to the locals. She didn't want to come across that, who she thinks she is. But you're Nicki Minaj, for Christ's sake. You need security. And that way your husband can kind of relax. He probably was on edge. You could tell he was on edge. I don't know. I don't look at him as a bad guy. I just look at him as a guy that's trying to kind of get reacclimated with society. And he doesn't have much privacy. They don't really have much privacy because he is in a relationship with Nicki Minaj, a megastar, a huge megastar. And she says that he doesn't look on social media. He doesn't really pay attention to social media. Thank goodness. And I hope it stays that way. I think he needs to stay off social media. And if she can help it, keep him away from it. He probably has no interest in it anyway, but that's a good thing because that could just make matters worse. You haven't seen it, but you're sure he was trying to protect her. That's what I got from it, honestly. But again, they were in Trinidad. To them, he's a Yankee. If you're from the islands, you already know how that goes. You already know how that goes. So, I don't know. I kind of feel bad for him, though. I do. I feel a little bit of, I can empathize with him a little bit because, again, he's still trying to get reacclimated to society. He was locked up for a long time, like for pretty much most of his life. He was locked up. So he's just trying to, he served his time, you know, paid his debt to society, as they say. And it's just like, it wasn't a gradual, he came out and it wasn't the gradual, like, he was chilling and like, working, getting himself together. No, he was thrusted into the limelight, and maybe he can't handle it. Maybe he's tired of it. I'm sure he loves his wife, but maybe he's just tired of all of this attention and all this media and all this stuff. So it can be too much. So, but she apologized. So it is what it is. So it should be all good. But again, the people who love Nikki, the Barbs, some of the Barbs don't like Mr. Petty, and they're going to find every opportunity to bash him. Just leave the man alone. He don't even be on social media clapping back, to my knowledge. Just leave the man alone, man. Nikki is married to him. It is what it is. Like, they're together. So I guess she's not pregnant, huh? Because there were rumors that she was pregnant. She could be. When she had on her costume, I mean, her stomach was flat. But then again, that doesn't mean anything. It could be early. Either way, I wish them well, man. It is what it is. I get it. As far as his actions when he moved the guy's hand, arm, I get it. I get what he did. And again, the soca artist is not beefing. He's not beefing with Kenneth. He said he understands it. It's all love. It's no beef. So I'm sure they, like I said, I'm sure they pieced it up. And Ira said that he wasn't even offended or nothing like that. Like I said, the environment, the energy of Carnival is all love. It's just good vibes, partying, drinking, dancing, eating, good food, good music, all love. Somebody steps on your foot is not going to result in fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the energy of Carnival, especially in the islands, is it's just all love. But child, some of them locals was threatening to throw bottles. I can't. I just can't. Nikki, hire security, girl, when you going out so that your husband can kind of chill. He's not going to be 100% chill, but at least, he can go from a 10 to maybe like a 7.5, and he can kind of relax and enjoy the festivities. He looked like he was working. He was on the job. That's tiring. That's, hire security, Nikki. You got the money, girl. Hire security so you and your husband can enjoy wherever it is that you are, like whenever you're out. So that's all I got today, Royal Family. If you're catching the replay, thank you. Make sure you comment. Let me know what you thought of the video and the commentary. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's a few of you in here, and these likes are looking real, real skimpy. Hit that like button. Royal Family, it is Friday Eve. Did you guys watch Sisters? I did. And it's God, the writing is just getting progressive. It's just getting worse and worse. Anywho, that review will be up later. If you have not seen the latest episode of the Royal Culture Podcast, that went up yesterday. I did a live, because I'm getting acclimated with this like computer and this system and stuff like that going live. So I'm kind of addicted to it now. Anyway, make sure you check out that video. I did a recap and review on the Red Table Talk with Snoop Dogg, and I'm glad I watched it. I think it was Lashia that told me that it was coming on at 12. So I was locked. Thank you for that. I was locked and loaded, and I watched it. It was only 30 minutes. I thought it was going to be longer, but I'm glad it was painless. Yeah. Girl. And Jeanette, let me tell you something. Tyler Perry better cut this foolishness out. I don't know. I don't think a few people are going to like what I have to say about that scene. I'm not going to be insensitive, and I'm still on the fence. Hey, Don Diva girl, greetings. I'm still on the fence, but I already have it in my notes, so I'm not taking it out. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys are ready. Again, for those of you who are just rolling in, make sure you check out the review that I did, the Royal Culture podcast video. That's up. I did a review on Red Table Talk with Snoop. So just check it out. Everything that I needed to say, I said. And Sisters is going to be going up later on today, probably by between 12 and 1 o'clock, whenever it uploads. These things take forever to upload sometimes. So that'll be up. Make sure your notifications are on. Speaking of notifications, I know a few people have been telling me that they click the bell notification and they select all but still don't get my notifications. In your phone, if you're watching, like if you're using YouTube from your phone, right? YouTube is an app that you downloaded, whether it be from the Play Store or the App Store, depending on if you have what you call it, Apple or Android, right? So you have to go into your settings and you have to make sure that your notifications for the YouTube app are on. So you go into your settings, I guess you go into your app settings, or you look for your apps or whatever, you know, um, and you enable notifications for the YouTube app. Because if you don't have that on, but you click the notification bell and you select all, you're not going to get notifications. So you have to turn on the notifications for the app itself so that anybody that you're subscribed to, you'll get notifications for comments, uploads, all that stuff. So just make sure you guys check that out, because I know a few people have DM me like, yo, I'm not even getting your notifications. This is annoying, da da da. So that could be a quick resolution. So, Royal Family, I'm signing off because I didn't record Sisters last night. I went to bed early again. So, I'm getting ready to record and put that up for you guys. So, make sure that your in-app notifications are on, as well as your notifications on the YouTube. So, it has been a splendid morning thus far. So, let's keep that momentum going. I hope you guys have a productive, positive, and abundantly blessed day. For those of you who are in motion, please keep your eyeballs on the road. Happy Friday Eve, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm signing off. Until next time, peace.